Welcome to Dodgers Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, we have a very, very special guest today. Alantrejo, infielder in the Dodgers organization, joins Dodgers Daily. Alan, thank you so much. This is an honor, man.
No, it's an honor to be wearing this Dodger blue, for sure.
You say that because you're from the kind of the South Metro in LA, right?
Yeah.
Grew up a Dodgers diehard fan, right?
Absolutely. You know, watching Eric Gagne, Sean Green, Duca, those are some of the guys I idolized as a kid, and you know, being able to finally wear the Dodger blue, it means a lot to me.
We're going to back up and get to San Diego State and your time there, the reason why you chose to go pro first. But first of all, let's talk about your time with Colorado. You get DFA'd, you become a free agent. That's kind of a complicated process. Can you take us through all that?
Yeah, the first process is obviously you get DFA and you're on waivers. So major league waivers, essentially you're for 3 days, you're waiting on a major league team to put you on their roster, on a major league roster, since I didn't have any options. And you know, you're just kind of waiting it out and trying to figure out what the next move is going to be. After those 3 days went by, I didn't get picked up on a major league roster. I elected free agency. I could have gone back to the Rockies in AAA in Albuquerque, but I elected free agency. I felt like I had another opportunity somewhere else, and I decided to come to LA.
All right, I think it's pretty obvious why you chose the Dodgers, but you become a free agent. Instead of accepting the assignment to Albuquerque, you instead choose free agency. Yeah. Then you choose the Dodgers. Take us through all that thought process.
The Dodgers were always on my mind, you know, especially as a young kid. I've always wanted to wear the Dodger blue. But it was more so where my career was. I felt like in the major leagues, I hadn't accomplished what I felt like I'm capable of, for sure. And I wanted to get better. And there's no other organization I felt like can get guys better than the Dodgers. They've done it for years. I mean, every time people joke about it, but the Dodgers have the do good machine, and you know, getting here and experiencing that and figuring out how I can get better is definitely something I'm really looking forward to.
So you hear all about it, and you hear the rumors, then you actually get in it. Is it all what you thought it was going to be?
Absolutely. You know, the attention to detail here, the guys, the staff. There's just little nuances that this organization does that is a lot different from where I came from, and I'm blessed, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I said I would jump forward. Now let's back up. Mm-hmm. Your days at Warren High School there in the South LA Metro, your high school coach Scott Pearson just stepped down, legendary coach in Southern California, just stepped down for medical issues. So want to give a shout out to your boys out down at Warren?
Yeah, my dad's still teaching at Warren High School.
Okay.
My parents live down the street, so I spent some time there in the off season. And actually, during the DFA process, I was working out there and trying to figure out my swing and just getting it right and staying ready. But my time at Warren was special. We went to the semifinals, I believe, the CIF semifinals. I was a pretty good pitcher there, and I enjoyed it, man. It was, you know, I walked to school every day, and I have a lot of good memories at Warren.
By the way, I talked to Logan Boyer last night. We're getting ready to get into the San Diego State part of your career here. Talk to Logan Boyer. You're a teammate of his for 1 year at San Diego State. I don't know if you've seen him lately, but he grew up like a Fu Manchu. He looks like have you seen the movie Major League?
Yeah.
He looks just like the closer coming out of Major League, man. He's like the most intimidating closer of all time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Boyer was definitely a really good prospect we had at San Diego State.
Yeah.
You know, he was physically stronger than everybody else. He was obviously, he had a great arm. He was figuring out who he wanted to be as a pitcher, and you know, it was awesome seeing him. I think he transferred out once I left, but he's an amazing guy that has a possibility to be in the big leagues at some point, and he's got good stuff.
You had a great team at San Diego State. I mean, we just talked about another professional right there. You still had eligibility left. Round 16, 2017, so talk us through what it was like deciding to turn pro.
Yeah, I got drafted in the 16th round. I felt like there was definitely other opportunities for me to go as a pitcher in the draft. I decided not to go as a pitcher. I felt like I had a future. Yeah, I felt like I had a future as a position player, specifically shortstop. And yeah, I got that call in the 16th round, and I jumped right on it.
Outstanding. Okay, let's go back to I know we're jumping around. That's okay. Yeah. Let's go back to the DFA situation. I've talked to several different guys that are in this position, and they all say it adds fuel to their fire. Especially, hey, the Rockies, they're in the NOS, so they get to see you every day. Are you in that boat? I mean, is there any fuel to that fire, or is it just, hey, it is what it is?
Absolutely. You know, I definitely have a lot of people to prove wrong. I left a lot of great relationships in Colorado. They're amazing people. I love them, and it was definitely hard for me to leave. But now that I have a different opportunity and seeing them on the other side, I definitely want to compete against them. And I really that fueled my fire more than anything. And that's just the kind of guy I am, very competitive. But yeah, it definitely fueled me.
So you were in the NL West. I think Dodgers fans, because of that, probably know your game pretty well. But for those that don't, kind of describe what type of offensive and defensive player you are.
I would say I'm a pretty good defender. I've always prided myself in being really good defensively, whether it's short, second, third, even first base. Offensively, I'm somebody that's pretty scrappy, competitive hitter that can hurt you. I haven't done so much in the big leagues this year, or the last year as well, but I definitely have it in me. And I think I can help a big league club win.
Along the similar lines, the Dodgers make 1 million transactions. If your phone rings, you got to pick it up when you're with the Dodgers, because you never know. So if you get that call, what could you bring to the big club? What do you think would be the best thing you would bring for them?
For one, I think I'd be a great teammate. I come from Colorado, where I was consistently off the bench, and I learned how to be a really good teammate there. But not only that, I feel like offensively, I've got a lot of things to work on here, but I want to be able to contribute at the big league level offensively. I did so in 2022, at a pretty good level, and I just feel like I could pick it, and if I could hit the ball pretty well, if I could drive in some runs, I definitely would help the big league team.
All right, that's all the business right there. Let's have some fun now. Your major league debut was in your home state of California, in San Francisco. Then your first start was at Dodger Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. My major league debut was against at the time it was McGee. He was closing for the San Francisco Giants, so I had a good scouting report. He had been with the Rockies in the year past, so I had faced him in live BPs and stuff like that. I lined out to center for my first major league debut in the 9th inning, and it was a dream come true, right? I mean, as a kid, you dream of playing in the big league stadium, being in a situation like that to possibly tie a game. We ended up losing 2-1, but then my first start in the big leagues was in Dodger Stadium against Julio Urias, Fernando Valenzuela's night, and that was my first start. It was definitely something that, I was very jittery, I was very emotional. Growing up, going to opening days at Dodger Stadium, it was just a lot, and I ended up getting my first big league hit against the Dodgers off of David Price in the 8th inning. So that's definitely one of my most cherished moments.
Probably feels like you're on the movie Sandlot at that moment, didn't it?
Heck yeah, 100%. Especially against a guy like David Price, and especially at Dodger Stadium in the 8th inning when the game would really matter.
Obviously, you can hear the perspective here of a major leaguer, Alantrejo, but not on the 40-man roster. So I mean, it's a grind. I mean, it's a competitive world. So what are the goals every day for an Alantrejo?
My goals every day is to be the best me every day. And I know that sounds cliche, but I think that if I show up every day and play good defense and have quality at bats, I'll get back up to where I need to be. The goal here is to win, obviously. I love to win, but I want to be able to contribute offensively. I've done it before in the minor leagues, playing every single day, and I think I can help keep the team here in OKC, but definitely the team in LA as well.
Light moment, are you used to this humidity?
I'm not used to it, but I'm getting used to it. It doesn't bother me as much. I played in elevation for the last 4 or 5 years, so it's definitely easier to recover here in OKC, which is kind of shocking for a lot of people, but the elevation really does it to you.
Okay, one last question for me. I've taken a lot of your time. Thank you so much, Alantrejo, for joining. You've had the entire experience, the good high school experience, the college experience, the major league experience, the DFA experience. Now you're back in trips right now. So, man, you've got a great message for kids to get in your position. What would you tell them?
Consistency. I know Sweeney said that, and being persistent. I think one of the things that has gotten me to this point is just never giving up. And I wasn't the most physical guy coming out of high school or college, and early on in the minor leagues. That was the one thing that really didn't stick out for me as a player to scouts. And I think, consistently being yourself, consistently trying to be better every single day. I think that's probably the best message I can say to kids, because there's a lot of talented kids out there that they don't get better because they don't want to get better.
Yeah.
And
What a great attitude, man. What a great attitude. What a great perspective. Alantrejo, this has been such an honor. I really appreciate it. When I asked you, I was hoping you'd say yes. I know you were taking VP. So thank you so much for joining. This has been an honor.
Oh, no problem.